can never think of a bad Kunkka game. And considering that Southeast Asia likes to brawl a lot, they like these kind of skirmishes. Maybe you can call them team fights, but 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3. Kunkka thrives in those because he initiates so easily with the boat, and then the fight will almost always go your way, because with the 2-3 heroes there, if the boat comes out, no one is actually gonna die because of the run buff.
And with the Kunkka being picked up here, is that boat, do you think, is it going to be saved in the team fights for when the Mars Arena comes out, to maybe try and dissuade the rest of Made in Philippines from going into that area? Or is that something you want to be using as an engagement tool, to get on, maybe get a surprise boat off while that melee is going on?
If you can, you always want to use the boat first, because when you use the boat, the counter initiation from the team is just bad. Even if they use their spells perfectly, they're not going to be able to do enough damage to kill you. Imagine if the Tiny and the TA jump your Warlock, he's just dead, but if he has the run buff, they'll take some time and it will give you time to respond. So in that regard, the Kunkka ideally always wants to start with a ship. You don't want to wait like for the arena or for like a Chron or something like that and then use it. Because the burst damage can come through, and Made in Philippines, when you look at their heroes, their lineup is pretty much made to jump in and crush a hero from 100 to 0 immediately.
Okay, and Atlantis picking up the Spectre now as well. This is a hero that, again, not really seen elsewhere. To me, it's not really seen elsewhere. Is this, what do you think the Spectre's going to go for? Because I've seen different builds for the past few months. Every time, on the occasion it's picked up, sometimes you go for the Echo Saber into the BKB Aghanim. Sometimes you get the Diffusal Blade coming out for the Spectre. You get the classic Vanguard coming out. From what I've seen, again, I only have a handful of games to work off. So with the Spectre coming out against Made in Philippines lineup, is this going to go for the ultra late game, or is there going to be some brawling happening here from Atlantis? Do they want to be getting these ultimates and then start to look for pickoffs? What is it that they want to do around the Spectre, do you think?
I'm not the biggest fan of the Warlock Spectre lane. People tend to talk about, oh, this is a classic, you just farm and the Warlock heals you. That's not how Dota works any longer. For me, Warlock should always be paired with an aggressive hero like a Slark or something like that, who he heals, and then that allows the hero to be aggressive. Spectre, in the past years, people have found ways to be more aggressive with it. Just go forward with the dagger and the dispersion, be super aggressive as much as you can, but you can't really threaten the enemies. Imagine you're playing a lane against the Mars and you can't threaten to kill him. What's that gonna mean? It means that Mars will have a free game, completely free. There's nothing you can do. He has really good damage, he has really good animation, he has 2 spells to secure the creeps for himself, and you can't threaten his life, so he can even be left alone. Imagine if this is a position for Tiny, he'll roam around and he'll crush everyone just because of what you did. So overall, I'm not the biggest fan of the combo. Later on down the game, of course, you can do a lot. In regards of Spectre items, I think I've seen 2 ways: the Manta and the Axe. Axe has fallen out of favor ever since the nerf of 10 seconds to the cooldown, and so the Manta is most likely going to be the Spectre is not going to be a hero. I don't know. You're playing against the Necro. That's the best counter to the Spectre in the game, with the Tiny being now is definitely a support where he'll be laning. I'm not quite certain of it, but if he is laning with the Mars, or if the Weaver is laning with the Mars, it doesn't really matter. Whoever it is going to be able to roam around because of this. I'm just loving the Made in Philippines draft, and I do regard them as a slightly better team, and I'm a big fan of what they have drafted. I had my doubts about the TA, but right now I'm just loving this Made in Philippines draft. I have no idea how you kill the Necro. I have no idea how you kill the Mars. And the late game, Spectre against these first 4 heroes, sure, but against the Necro, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, there is a lot of, there's a lack of magical damage coming out on the side of Atlantis to me. So Necrophos, if he gets that Ghost Shroud off, he should just be able to shrug off a lot of what Atlantis can do. Going all the way through the reserve time, though, they're going to pick up the Brewmaster, and again, it just doesn't scream to me a hero that's, like you say, going to be able to kill up this Necrophos, and I'm going to be really interested to see how Atlantis are going to play this, because I don't know. You have a lot of balanced fight coming out from the side of Made in Philippines, whereas on the side of Atlantis, well, you're going to be looking at your dropping the rock on the Warlock, maybe the daggers coming through from the Spectre, the boat from the Kunkka, it just, yeah, it doesn't scream confident draft to me on the side of Atlantis.
I mean, you can always look at Atlantis' draft and think about, okay, there is potential for them to crush teamfights just because of the fatal bonds. But the BKBs will come out. We can expect Rupido at some point maybe to have a way to remove the fatal bonds. A Yules comes to mind. No, Mars will also go for a BKB. Made in Philippines, they never have to go for a direct team fight. If someone is caught with an X, sure, let him die. If it's a support, no one really cares. And even the Weaver isn't going to be that easy to bring down, to be honest. So I'm really scared for this Atlantis lineup. I don't know. Their lanes don't seem super strong. Their pressure in the early mid game doesn't seem super strong. Their ability to catch out the Weaver comes out only from the Kunkka, so their jungle is going to be invaded super hard. Kunkka is the best farmer on their side, but then you look at the Spectre and the Brewmaster. Do these seem like space creating heroes for the Kunkka to get massive farm? I don't think so. So I'm really afraid for this Atlantis lineup. I'm not really sure what they're gonna do with it.
Well, that's why we get ourselves into the match so we can see how Atlantis are going to play around this draft. And it looks like they are going to be coming for a smoke just to, again, they are splitting up, so maybe some vision coming out here for them. You know, maybe just looking to get some early wards down and not really looking to get aggressive. But on the side of Made in Philippines, they're just, you know, it's a little bit more relaxed. You know, they're just moving slowly towards this mid lane. Rupido's going to be going across. He's got himself a wand as well as 3 branches, so those tangos will be coming out when the bounty runes are picked up. And I've seen this build a couple of times coming through. How do you feel about this? Just I guess it's the extra stats for the iron branches. Do you use these as well to, you know, in conjunction with the tangos? You know, are you going to be using the iron branches to consume on tangos so you get that extra little health boost while you already have that magic wand?
That's the case. Oh, so it's gonna be a Necro off lane. Okay. Then usually in the mid lane, you see heroes, they take Tango plus a few Iron Branches and then just rush the bottle. When it comes to the off lane, it's just for extra stats. You know, the Necro is a type of hero. If you can't kill him from 100 to 0, he's gonna be fine because he does have the Heartstop Aurora to just heal him up to full after just a few creeps. So when looking at him, he's not really gonna be eating too many tangos. Probably won't have the need to do so.
Okay, and well, they're already going to see the Brewmaster. He's going to take a little bit of harass coming through from the Sakuchi there on the Weaver, and it just seems like, yeah, they're going to be pushed away here, Atlantis. And Made in Philippines, it looks like they are trying to maybe rush back up to try and claim a couple of these river runes as well as the safe bounty rune on their side of the map. But Tihi, does he want to go on this? Because there's still going to be 2 heroes. Yeah, the Sakuchi's going to be there. Does he time this right as well? He's going to be able to get the damage. Doesn't get the pickup, though, on the rune. So, just a little bit of quicker fingers maybe on the side of Atlantis here for those bouncy runes.
Interesting choice from Made in Philippines to lane the Necro on the top lane. Necro will do well on top, don't get me wrong, but the Mars, I think, will do better, and the Necro is pretty solid against the Kunkka in the mid lane. You have 4 armor, so you're not bad in that department. And you can be annoying to the Kunkka. Not a lot of heroes can say that, so you know you should be proud of that one. If you're a Necro, you can definitely push him back even at some point like level 4 when the Kunkka should be at his strongest. You can actually just constantly harass him and apply so much damage that he's gonna be in trouble. But I guess MIPH are putting a little bit more emphasis in the Mars getting a better time, getting more levels so that he can go for kills, because he's gonna be the main murderer around the map.
And do you think that the Mars is going to go for any early points into the bulwark here up against the Kunkka, or is it just the standard like 2-2 build coming through here for that Mars?
The bulwark doesn't give you anything against the Kunkka, so I would assume no. If it was a ranged hero, then yes, sometimes you do skill the bulwark.
Yeah.
In this kind of scenario, not really.
Okay. Just looking at the top lane as well, Rupido's taking a lot of harass coming through. It looks like Ponyo, what's he gone for at level 1? So he's going to be picking up the Shadow Word at level 1. So he is going to be able to put out that harass. But Rose, does he actually want to go into Rupido here? Rupido needs to move himself away from this. The Avalanche comes through, so this might actually save his life. Actually, no. He's going to take down Ponyo. He's going to be able to get the first blood, but it could be a return kill. Is he going to be able to get on top? That Avalanche not going to be there, so the tree toss immediately picked up and thrown out. It's not enough damage. 10 health here on the Warlock, and he's going to survive through.
Necro thought he wasn't gonna die from that Warlock hit, so he didn't use the sticks. And you know,
bottom lane. Hayat's going to be able to get the kill here onto Teehee. Teehee just, I guess, getting a little bit too far out of position, and there was the sentry down as well, so they were able to get the grab, able to get that dispose off into the W. Yeah, you can see he's got the first point into the Thunderclap here as well. So the damage coming out onto the, if he gets caught out here in the lane, Teehee. Again, coming forward. Did he get himself? He did get himself a sentry as well to maybe get the D-wards off. He's going to be able to get the Observer D-ward as well if he can place this quite right. But the damage coming through onto the Brewmaster. Just needs to back himself away. The Dispose comes out once again. Whereas are they going to be able to get the clap off again? There is going to be the rebound as well. So Teehee taking so much damage. Look at that. He's only just come back into lane with full health, and now he's down to 140 after those couple of combinations on the spells.
The people still aren't quite sure of I wouldn't say quite sure about how to play the Weaver, but you are you still kind of have that innate thing about when he used to have 12 seconds on level 1, and now with 15 seconds you just sometimes make a mistake and take too much damage, or in Teehee's case he even died. So that is something that tends to happen when the hero is not being overly picked and you're just used to something from the previous patch where he was definitely overly picked. You are gonna be making those mistakes. You know, I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen until Weaver is like completely back in the meta, because you can very hard get used to what's happening right now. But still, this is a solid start for Atlantis. I was thinking, how are they gonna have damage to kill these heroes? And what comes to mind is the Brewmaster gets a very early Spirit Vessel. The Cinder Brew plus the Spirit Vessel does so much damage, and you will actually have enough to bring down these tanky heroes on the side of MIPH. So the bottom lane going solid for the side of WS. Obviously not in terms of CS, but if he's getting kills and assists, that should be something that could help Atlantis actually play the mid game.
And in mid lane as well, you've got Wonderboy trying to trade off. The last is going the way of the Mars. There was a little bit of aggression here as well. He's going to be able to pick up that water rune. Even Teehee just rotating in to take away, so Kunk is not going to be able to move and fill up that bottle. But yeah, so JG's gone for that early point into the bulwark. Just put 3 points into the God's Rebuke, 1 into the Spear, to get the harass off onto the Conqueror. The Conqueror just fallen behind a little bit in terms of last. It's only about a wave for the however many waves we've had so far, so it's not in the grand scheme of things a massive thing. But on the bottom lane, Ken's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Does have a refraction charge if he needs to use it now as well. Ayad can get himself away from this. He doesn't have the rebound for the next 10 seconds, so he's not going to be able to relocate himself, and it looks like Ken wants to chase down here. Rapido's going to be able to get the kill onto Ponyo on the top lane. Are they going to be able to follow up to any more damage here? So it looks like Mango Rose and Luzify just contesting out for these neutrals. And Kunka, did he TP back Xbox's bot just for the regen? So that coming out early, but again, top lane, it looks like Mango Rose in a little bit of trouble. The tree toss will be thrown out, and Mango Rose just has to back himself up towards that tier 1 tower.
As soon as the Necro gets more levels, you should be very happy that you managed to pressure him that much on level 1. Necro is in this kind of a laning situation where he doesn't really need to skill Ghost Shroud, and when you're in that kind of a situation as a Necro, it's gonna be very, very tough for the enemies to do anything. You can constantly just posture, aggress, and do whatever you want.
There is going to be a lot of aggression coming around. Ken, well, the Cinder is going. Ayad's going to be able to get himself away from this. He needs to be careful about coming back in. WS takes a lot of harass as well from Ken. Can he bounce these glaives right to get the kill? It looks like Ayad's going to back himself away now. Just going to go back and heal. It looks like, and yeah, well, just 1 point onto the side blades, so it's not the biggest amount of bonus range coming through, and WS looking for the denies there as well. But this bottom lane, both teams getting fairly harassy when they can find it.
But we're still seeing Atlantis being kind of struggling in the CS department, especially on the bottom lane. They did get the Urn of Shadows on the Brewmaster, but the question is, will you really get the kill? He made some mistakes early on, but killing him now gonna be very, very tough. And the TA, yeah, you do go through the refraction charges, but the damage output from the TA and the Weaver is actually quite high. Mid lane, though, this could be a good rotation.
Yeah, the rebound comes in. They're going to be able to get the dispose. Is it in tower range? It was just outside of tower range, so the spear's going to come out onto the Conqueror. He's going to be pinned to the cliff. And they're not going to be able to get the full amount of damage if he wanted to on this Mars here, as Mars wasn't, like I said, just not thrown back into the tower range and able to just walk himself away from that after the spear comes out.
And they have the arena now. They want Wonderboy.
Oh, Wonderboy. The toss comes back. The arena's there, like you were talking about. The boat will be thrown out, though. He misses onto the spear, so Wonderboy What is the secret to your power? As it looks like he's just going to be able to walk himself away from this. Top lane, some harass coming out onto Mango as well. Rapido, he's level 6 now, so he can look for that ult.
So a bit of a mistake coming out from Made in Philippines. When he missed the God's Rebuke, immediately there was no slow on the Kunkka, and then it was easy for him with the boots to dodge that one. So very unfortunate there for MIPH, but this is what we were talking about. Top lane, the Necro can just stay alone, and that leaves Tiny to do whatever he wants, and he tried to bully the Kunkka. Fortunately for Atlantis, he didn't die, but unfortunately for Atlantis, the Brewmaster did die in the bottom lane. Now we see the power of that physical damage duo on the bot.
And yeah, you can see here as well, level 3. This is from what I can tell, the standard support Weaver build. There is going to be the rebound in though. Did he want to try and go into Ken? Ken's going to be disposed back. They get the reveal coming through, but the swarm will be there, and it looks like WS needs to run himself away. The trap's going to slow him down. It's going to be, he's only level 5, so he doesn't have a point into the ultimate just yet. He's not going to be able to split himself up, so has to just back himself up here.
Okay, so Marcy has 4 armor. After the meld, you're already in minus armor territory, and then you have the swarm as well. You just saw how fast she died. Now Marcy's gonna try to make something happen on the top lane. They need more heroes, okay, and they are bringing them.
The rebound's gonna come through. This Reaper Scythe is gonna be. It's not gonna be enough damage though. Rapido gonna get himself out of this. The drag back into the boat. The damage will be there. Mango Rose looks like he wants to get himself maybe another. Nah, he's gonna go back and farm. Save this kill to the 2 supports. Lizify. Maybe even just keep Fission because he does have that dagger up in the next second or so. They don't see the Tiny though. Tiny in the trees. They're gonna go for the hunt. Okay, so the chase comes out. Where's that dagger? It will connect now as well. So he's gonna be able to swap onto his illusion, get that kill. And it took a little bit longer. But the split comes through. Are they able to go into Ken? Ken, he's just in that meld. He's going to be sitting invis now as well. And it looks like it's going to be WS slowed down by the trap. Ken, one of those refraction charges, not even going to need them.
So, you know, the Brewmaster, the Kunkka, one guy keeps all the drinks for his team. The other one is trying to get the enemies drunk. But even with the Cinder Brew, the TA, she saw really well there who her friend was and who her foe was, and she did manage to bring down the Brewmaster. That's the first split, not really doing much. The Haunt did give them the kill. I think with a lineup like this, you need to be using your spells at least for the first 15 minutes, pretty much on cooldown. Every single time you get them, you just use the boat, use the split, use everything so that you can slow down Made in Philippines as much as you can, and then once you get your small core items, you just control your top part of the map so you can protect the Roche. The problem I see is, of course, you know, Made in Philippines, their gold lead is just gonna continue increasing further and further.
Yeah, and with the trees being cut here, the Mars did rotate in, maybe looking for a gank. Mango Rose wasn't in the best of health, but like I said, because these trees got cut, he got the perfect vision on the Mars, which is able to back himself away safely, and now Ayad's moved himself up. Ponyo's here as well. They might be trying to make a move. The Arena does come through though. Where's that spear? God's Rebuke into the spear onto the Warlock, and the Warlock should go down here. No Reaper's Scythe. It was still on cooldown for the next couple of seconds because of that failed gank attempt here on the top lane. So Rapido not going to be able to get that regen coming through from that Reaper's Scythe just yet.
And Rapido is going for a Yules against the Kunkka, against the Warlock, against the potential Spirit Vessel. It is the item that you want to go for. It's gonna make him almost unkillable. Cloak, I like that he got the casual one. I have a friend who is always like, why do people ever buy the hood? It's 18% magic resistance and the cloak is 15%. It really is a really big value item when you're a hero like a Necro, just to buy a cloak, really. And when you put it that way, the hood doesn't really make much sense. That's why we don't see the item too often right now. Bottom lane though, Ken in trouble.
Yeah, there is going to be the split coming through. Wonderboy rotating down as well as Ponyo, but there is going to be the TP by the Mars. The boat is going to fly through. Ken can he get himself away from this one? Lodify's going to be here to try and back him up. The Avalanche comes through. Those Pandas not going to last too much longer. If he can survive out this split, again the Mels comes out. No reveal here. Ken, does he want to come up onto this? He's going to be able to get the damage onto the Kunkka. The Reaper Scythe will fly through though. They do get the kill, and now WS, it's going to be his turn to fall. The Dispose coming through onto Teehee. Teehee, does he want to try and chase onto this? It looks like they're going to give up. Let Ayad retreat gracefully, as they do get 2 big core pickoffs here on the side of Made in Philippines.
Ideal for Atlantis in this game right now. I'm I just don't like their draft, but ideally you would want to use the split, force out rotations to the bottom lane, and get out. I think every single time with this lineup of theirs that you are thinking you're gonna get the kill, especially on a core, that you are you're just kidding yourself, or you're gonna have to give like 5 kills and 3 ultimates to be able to bring a core down. You don't want that to happen. I understand you really want the Urn of Shadows on WS, but just go for a support. Go for a support kill. I mean, Tiny and the Weaver, they're not really the easiest ones. I don't know. A very tough one for Atlantis, but definitely diving towers for a kill with their lineup, it's not gonna happen. Mid lane though, Wonder Boy.
The arena does come out, and Wonder Boy will be able to walk himself away. Yeah, he's going to be alright on this, and with the Shadow Word coming out as well, he should be able to heal up. He's got the bottle as well, so he's got that extra health where he needs it. Just going straight towards the BKB, it looks like, after the phase boot. So Wonder Boy looking to survive more of these fights. Bottom lane, a little bit of frost coming out into WS, but Rapido, again, no Reaper sight for the next 36, so probably not looking for a massive pick-off, but the boat comes through onto the Mars. The Mars does have that ball walk up. Is he going to be able to walk up? There is going to be the home coming through now as well. The rock gets dropped, and they are going to be able to get the kill onto the Mars, and it looks like they're going to be able to get the rebound into... It's going to be disposed afterwards. It looks like Teehee, again, well, he's level 5, so he doesn't have the time lapse, so he's not going to be getting any regen, but he's going to be fairly fine. You know, they did lose that mid lane Mars as Ken does rotate in.
Okay, so you need 4 ultis to kill a core. So Atlantis did get him down in the end. The problem, of course, is you didn't get the Urn of Shadow charges. That's a big chunk of damage with the Cinder Brew maxed out in the Urn. You actually take away like 40% of the HP of some of the heroes, so that would be really big for the side of Atlantis.
Bottom lane,
be quite bad.
Yeah, I'm going to be able to go into Rapido. Rapido, he's got that Reaper's Scythe back up, but Aya's going to be able to back himself away. Yeah, there is going to be a Ghost new arena for the next 8 seconds, though. Ghost Shroud does come out, so he's going to be able to survive through this one, and the Cyclone's still going on to the Mars. Are they going to try and go? Because, I mean, the Pandas, it looks like, yeah, WS is going to retreat himself back, so he pops back in underneath the tier 1 tower. In the top jungle, though, Ponyo, the Swarm will come through, and the right click's coming through onto Ken. Ken doing so much damage with that minus armor, the meld as well, doing a lot to take down that Warlock, and you can see that every time Atlantis tries to make a hit on a hero, Made in Philippines are just taking advantage of the space being created and finding a pick for themselves.
Yeah, the thing is, for Made in Philippines, it's so easy to play this one. After the mid lane tower falls, that opens up the path to Roche. You can see that the TA went for the blink, wanting to be active to get this mid lane tower down as fast as possible when there are no ultis on Atlantis, and that's for a very long time. 85 seconds left on the Spectre and 75 with the Warlock. It seems like they used them like forever ago, and they're not even close to having them. So now, with this tower gone, you can completely overtake the enemy top part of the map. You can take away all of the vision from Atlantis there, and then you are going to be the ones that have the Roche advantage, which is going to be the time where Made in Philippines want to strike. At that point, the Spectre will get close to the Radiance, and it is a big power spike. I just don't see it as being enough. We'll see how much damage it can do with the Fatal Bonds. Really not something that we see too often. But if the enemies are like 6, 7, 8, up to 10k gold ahead, it's really not going to make that much of a difference. Bottom lane.
So they are going to be able to make a move. The arena comes out Reaper's Scythe as well onto the Panda, and now it looks like Ayad. He's going to be going in with the Unleash, though. I think he'll be able to do damage onto the Necrophos. Necrophos going to be disposed back, but he heals himself up. Ghost Shroud comes out as well as that Death Pulse. Rupido, he's looking to run himself away, but the Shadow Word, is he going to be able to keep himself healthy for long enough? He's not, but he might be able to go into Mango. No, there is no more follow-up coming through onto that. And do they want to chase? I mean, Kunkka going to be sped up a little bit. The sidekick does come out here. Are they going to look to maybe try and pressure a little bit more? Lizify as well as JG. I mean, the arena got used, so they did find a pick on the Brewmaster and only traded off the Necrophos, so offlaner for offlaner, and not a bad pick, and even the Reaper Scythe coming out, so there was a net positive there for the side of Made in Philippines with that bonus regen coming through. JG, though, the Dispose won't be there. I think he'll be able to chase down onto Ide. Ide in the trees, just trying to move himself around, but the body blocks come through. The toss on from Lizify. It looks like the Avalanche as well. They're going to be able to do this damage, and there's no way. Ide, can he get himself away from this? The Swarm on top of him, yeah, the Spear comes through, and JG will get the pick.
The thing is, when Made in Philippines dive the bottom lane, there is Atlantis, when they TP, they can't do anything, right? Especially now with the Weaver being able to place that aggressive ward. So in terms of map control, Atlantis don't have anything other than their triangle right now. Playing against the TA, that's going to be a problem, especially once the Deso comes out and the Roche falls. So Atlantis, they really haven't been able to slow down any of the times of Atlantis, and you get a kill again, but no Urn charges. So this Urn on the side of WS, it's really not doing too much. He will have the Spirit Vessel, but he needs to be a participant in one of the kills.
Well, the boat comes in. I think he'll be able to lock down the Weaver with the rebound as well. The damage will be there. And Wonderboy going to be able to secure that kill onto Teehee. And yeah, so okay, good pickup onto Teehee, but doing that, the control coming out in the fights, you know, I think that's going to be a little bit harder to do here. As Lizify on the bottom lane just continues to push in. They're going to be able to put the pressure onto this tier 1 tower with the catapult as well. Rapido rotating in, JG is going to rotate in as well. So it looks like if they want to step up, Made in Philippines, you know, they want this tier 1 tower on the bottom lane, and are they going to be able to take it with Rapido down here? Even through this fortification, I'd expect that. Yeah, even it looks like there's gonna be a response maybe coming through from the side of Atlantis, moving themselves down. The ultimates are up now as well. No boat though for the next 26 seconds. So this tier 1 might stand just a little bit longer.
You want the enemies to use their big ultimates on the bottom lane. Even if they do so, the biggest thing they're gonna be able to accomplish is the bottom tier 1. Right now, Atlantis wants to control the top part of the map for obvious reasons, the Roche. That is the timing that you need to slow down for Made in Philippines. So I'm liking that Atlantis are coming to the bottom lane, just pushing it out without any TPs. So they are not, they're not using TPs so that they have to push here or smoke out, run away somewhere else. But they're just walking in and out, pushing the lane, kind of just posturing. Especially with the Kunkka having the BKB, is probably going to be fine every single time.
Yeah, the aggro is going to kill into WS, but on the bottom lane, there is the rebound comes into Lizify. Lizify, they dispose onto the Mars as well, so the boat's going to go really big rock onto two of them. Can they do the damage to take him down? It looks like the Fatal Bonds might be enough. Ponyo's going to be able to get the kill into Rapido, and now the X marks the spot, drag back onto the Mars. So a good couple of kills here on the side, going the way of obviously that carry Warlock. But yeah, so the golems out as well. They're going to be able to put pressure onto this tier 1 tower. While this is happening though, Made in Philippines, you know, it's not going to be the worst trade-off in the world. 2 heroes as well as the tier 1. If this Roche does get taken by Ken, and Ken coming in, the minus armor from the Weaver as well as the Templar Assassin, easily going to be able to clean up this Roshan with just 2 heroes.
MIPH, their draft, their tactic, everything is fine. They fought on the bottom lane. They forced out the enemy's ultis on the bottom lane. Hence, you get the Roche. Now, with the Aegis, you're going to be able to do whatever you want, especially now when there are no ultis, and we are already seeing them attempting to do so. They already get themselves 1 kill. But the thing is, Mars runs into a boat. The Necro doesn't use his Ghost Shroud, or he had 14 Magic Wand charges. I was looking at him. He had the chance to do so. In terms of execution, MIPH, they're not really doing that great. So very weird. Usually in Southeast Asia, because of all the brawling, you're gonna be seeing really good spell usage overall.
And he gets tossed up, and the pine cones get the last hit. And I mean, with 3 heroes around doing so much damage, and I don't know what the pine cone damage. It can't be a lot, but I'm trying to find one now just to see what the click damage of a pine cone is, because.
I mean, he got one-shotted by the TA up to like 20 HP. Still, MIPH, they're not done. They want more.
Yeah, in the mid lane, the Reaper Scythe does come out. WS, where I was taking a tour of the map there, looking for more pine cones, just to see how much damage they actually do. Rapido was able to get another Reaper Scythe off. Gets that kill there onto the Brewmaster. The Brewmaster just not able to get these splits off. You know, he's not able to survive. He's just being taken down every time he gets caught out. And now Teehee gonna be able to see Wonderboy. And Wonderboy, can he get himself away? He does have the BKB, so there's not going to be too much danger being posed here for Teehee. Teehee, no Yule Scepter, nothing like that to stop that TP there as well.
You know, it was in my country we don't have the culture of having urns with the ashes of our relatives, so it was weird to me. But it's even weird like having the urn for the ashes and you don't have any ashes in them. WS has pretty much been that way the entire the game. Still, we're gonna see a big team fight in the mid lane. Finally one that's gonna be pretty solid for Atlantis.
Yeah, Wonderboy gonna be able to do the damage. JG will be taken down. Even the Unleash use for this now as well from the Marcy. And you can see, do they want to try and re-engage? Though they do have the Blink Dagger on the tiny toss back coming through. It's gonna be the swarm into the right click damage from Ken. Well, they're gonna be able to take down Wonderboy. Yeah, absolutely. And Luzify will be able to secure that kill. And looks like Teehee wants to go even further now as well. With these side blades bounced around, I think they'll be able to do damage onto the heroes. Even Ponyo with that invis, they might be able to go onto this backline. So Ponyo is going to try and drop that rock. The damage coming through. Rapido, can he get himself away from this? He does have that coach shot if he needs to move himself away. The heals. Now the horn comes through, so the backlines are going to be able to get the kill onto Luzify as well. And now jumping back to Teehee. Teehee going to be able to get himself away from this. He's absolutely not. Yule Scepter comes out from Necrophos. Necrophos going to get himself away from the danger. Buyback comes through from Luzify. Luzify might try and get himself in to try and save, but no, it's going to be a little bit too late. But Mango Rose might still go down. The toss comes out. One more right click. Going to be able to clean this one up. Can he go further onto this? He cannot. As, what was that, a 3 for 3 and a couple of buybacks? 3 for 4 maybe?
It was a 3-4 for the side of Atlantis, so they should be happy with this one. Plus the tiny bot back. You know, every single time at the start of the fight, JG is dying on this Mars. I really don't know why. I think he should put a little bit more emphasis on getting that BKB so that they can't kill him, and then it's gonna be very, very tough for Atlantis to fight. I have to say, Atlantis have gotten some of their key items in this game. They finally have the Spirit Vessel. We saw just how much damage it did in the previous fight. 3,000 damage overall from the Brewmaster. Keeping the TA also up in the air is a big deal. So overall, Atlantis, they're in a good spot though. WS yet again, he will fall, and not much he can do about it. And Ken is just alone in the mid lane. No one can really threaten his authority at this point of the game. BKB and then Aegis for another minute and 20. So first Aegis for the TA. You take down tier 2s. You open up the map. The second Aegis, you like to get to an insurmountable lead. But in my mind, with how this game is going right now, the second Aegis might just be the one with which MIPH is looking to end the game.
Yeah, and you can see it. Well, the split was down this time from the Brewmaster. Like you say, he's got those 2 charges up, the arena being used, and he just had no way out of this. And like you say, Ken was just he was pretty much 1v4 in that mid lane, just saying, "Come at me, bruh," because he was putting the pressure on. He took Ayad down to about half life in one right click as well. And Ken, he's just like you say, that Aegis for the next 40 seconds. He's effectively, I don't want to say unkillable, but you know, it's very hard to try and take Ken down. And if he's got the backing of his team as well, maybe even just Teehee with the Swarm, he throws out so much physical damage that I don't know what Atlantis can do trying to stay around this, trying to keep themselves alive through these fights.
Especially now with the 2 tier 2s down, the tier 2s are very important currently in Dota, because they're the towers that you can fight around. When 2 of those go down without you getting anything out of it, forcing any spells from the enemies, forcing them to go back after those kind of things, or even getting yourself a decent amount of farm, it means that something has went horribly wrong. Now the map is open to MIPH to do whatever they want, and Atlantis, as soon as they see people missing, they have to go back. So this smoke from MIPH, it might be obvious, but even if they were just be hitting the jungle right now, Atlantis wouldn't have a play on the map other than hide themselves.
And it looks like, well, Ponyo's going to try and go for the TP. The smoke breaks, so they will get the avalanche off. He does. Was that a long TP? Where was he TPing to? Because that was a long TP, I'm pretty sure. And he's going to be able to get that Glimmer Cape off, but did he have the reveal? Ken's going to be there as the Glimmer Cape fades, so they're going to be able to see Ponyo. Yeah, one more right click, and Ken claims that kill. Might be able to catch up Teehee. Then the arena, the time-lapse comes out, and Teehee's going to be able to survive through this one with the Unleash coming through. Teehee, he drops his Swarm, setting up for Ken to come in. Ken, there is going to be the split coming through from the Brewmaster. Can they do the damage to Ayad, though? Ayad's going to try and get himself away from this with that Spirit Vessel on top of him now as well. Was that Spirit will come through. Godspeed to finish the job. Just going to go for the right click.
That's the split used. That's the big thing, you know. So now you definitely cannot fight. The main way that Atlantis are fighting in this one is that they're keeping Ken away from these team fights, because he 2-shots pretty much all of their heroes. And if he's not in the air, if he doesn't have to use the BKB to just fight, you cannot engage the enemy. So this might even open up the tier 2 for the side of MIPH. We can see already that they're rotating there, and this is a tower that Atlantis have to fight for. So it's very easy right now for MIPH to control the map. You push in the bottom lane, Atlantis will be there with all of their heroes, and then you can choose, guys, are we powerful enough to do this, or are we just gonna let them stay there while we farm the entirety of the map? It's a point in the game where MIPH, it's gonna be super easy for them to choose whatever they want to do on this map, and Atlantis, they don't have a play.
Yeah, you can see now as well, WS trying to, he can't even defend. The trap is going to pop on the WS. He just needs to get himself out with the Tumbler's Toy to try and, you know, well, not even try, just make sure he doesn't get aggressed on here by Ken in this tier 2 tower. Wonderboy is going to be coming through. Does he try and drop the torrent onto Ken? Ken's just going to get the blink away. And the big Power Ranger play TP coming through here, but you can see that they've already made a move. The arena's going to come through. Man, Mango Rose going to get caught out here. The arena comes through. Do they have the lockdown to keep him alive? The Reaper side comes out, yeah. And absolutely just destroyed. And again, just that play of pulling all of the heroes from the side of Atlantis down to the bottom lane and just going for the 1-2 punch. And now Wonderboy has to be careful, has to back himself away, just have that halberd up, but yeah, just being able to drag Atlantis down to the bottom, then go for the quick pick on the top lane, taking down the Spectre. And the Spectre with the Manta style Radiance, you know, there's got to be a reason, right, that we don't really see the Radiance picked up anymore. As, well, they're going to be able to get the damage onto Teehee, though. Teehee with the time-lapse Going to be able to get himself out. And again, the swarm coming through. WS is going to be able to get that split off. Did he try and chase
Another
down?
defensive one.
Yeah, he just needs to use it to keep himself alive. And the Cyclone's going to be coming through onto, well, from the Lotus Orb. Okay, so that's why the Air Panda was up in the air. But yeah, I don't think I've seen an aggressive split coming through from WS since the laning stage.
For sure. You know, that death on the Spectre of the top lane, I understand Mango's Rose reasoning there. So, guys, we are losing this game. We have some of our core items, so, you know, it's not like Atlantis are completely shut down. They got the Mant on the Spectre, got the Radiance, the Halberd, and the BKB on the Kunkka. But look at this. They just destroy a hero.
Yeah, Wonderboy, he gets the stun onto the Tiny, but they're going to carry on going here now as well. Wonderboy going to be slowed down by the trap, has those phase boots, so he's going to be a little bit quick. He's going to be able to get himself back to the high ground. But you can just see Made in Philippines here just starting to choke out Atlantis. You know, they've got control of everything as far as the eye can see, you know, before that high ground. It's like the part in Lion King where Simba's being sat on a cliff and saying everything the light touches is yours, because what can Atlantis really do here to try and get control back of this map?
Yeah, but unlike the light touches situation, you know, even the dark part of the map for Made in Philippines, they can go there with pretty much a zero threat of dying.
Look at this as well. Wonderboy, the Reaper Scythe comes out. Did they have the damage to take him down? That was going to be a little bit of control. The BKB will be there now as well. The Horn will be coming out. It's going to be a decent rock being dropped on top of 3 of them here. Ken looks like he is going to be taken down, but can he go even further onto this Rubbido? Going to try and come back. The buyback comes through here from the Brewmaster as well, and Rubbido can't get himself out. He's going to try and use that Yield Scepter to keep himself alive. The arena comes through now as well, so Rubbido, he looks like he's on the retreat while that Death Pulse trying to heal himself up, and JG, he's going to be able to get the kill onto Ayad. He's got himself the double kill now as well. Both supports are going to be down on the side of Atlantis. The chase is on. WS, what's he going to be able to do? They still got the golem going though. Do they have the X-Max spot? Luzify is going to be able to go onto that. Yield Scepter coming out for him now as well from that X-Max spot. Luzify with he's going to go for the Avatars coming through now as well. But they're going to be able to get the kill, and Luzify will go down. Wonderboy picks up the kill. Do they want to go even further onto this? Because Rubbido has come in. The split's going to come out now as well. Necrophos just waiting for that Lotus Orb to end. The damage coming through the Rock Toss. It will be enough to control onto the Necrophos. Necrophos not going to be able to get himself out of this. Maybe not. Spear. Damage though, is it going to be off the X-Max spot once again onto the Necrophos? Necrophos going to drag right back into the danger. Yield Scepter once again for Rubbido, but the right clicks. It will be Wonderboy that claims the kill. So a good fight there for Atlantis. It did cost them a little bit, but they were able to take down all 3 cores. No, did the Mars go down? Tiny's not a core, so 2 cores and a support here in that fight.
It's definitely wrong in the assessment that you can go to the dark side of the map and still be okay. Atlantis, they saw an opportunity there and they struck. This brings the Brewmaster close to his Aghanim Scepter. Not super close, but you know, at least you're gonna have it once the enemies do come high ground. You're not gonna be able to fight the Roach right now because you used all of your spells in that team fight. That's just the nature of your lineup. But at least you are gonna have the double Brew ultimate. You know, all of your ultis once the enemies do come high ground. And I have to say, Atlantis, I give them more chance right now than I would have given them at the start of this game, because I think MIPH, they made a few mistakes that made this game a little bit harder for them than it should have been. You know, when you look at the lineup of MIPH, they don't really have good team fight, especially not against what Atlantis has. The Necro is usually unkillable, but you know, you have the spell from the Panda, which is quite big for both the Yules and the Ghost Shroud, and you do actually have the damage now with the Fatal Bonds and the Spectre to bring him down, especially if the Scotty comes out. That's gonna be a little bit tougher before MIPH come knocking, but still, it is gonna be close, especially if the first knock on the door is responded properly by the side of Atlantis.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get the Dispose back onto the Tiny though. Tiny will, with the rebound coming through here from Aliad, just needs to move himself away from danger. Lizify, does he want to try and go? He's got that blink up, so the Yule Scepter comes out onto the Marcy. Everybody else keeping themselves away in the trees. So they're going to leave Marcy as that sacrifice.
All lanes in good position for the side of MIPH, and they got a kill. So there is no reason to not get close to the enemy tier 3s. You don't. They even have the DD on the TA. You don't have to commit full on, but you can get all of the lanes into the side of Atlantis, and then you can choose your fights. You do have the Tiny, so getting a toss back is going to be quite easy. I think MIPH can get in front of the enemy base and just slowly find ways to engage, and Atlantis are going to be the ones that are forced to go outside and fight.
Yeah, and let's see what they can do here, because I mean, there's some alright vision down here on the side of Atlantis, seeing these heroes pushing out onto the mid lane. But they just, with the Aegis being up now, again, you can't get out of the base for that wraparound. They can't look for this quick pick and then retreat, because the chase down on the side of Made in Philippines is incredibly strong. And Rapido once again just putting pressure onto this mid lane tower. There is going to be the group up here from Atlantis, so are they going to try and get something out of this? Like you say, that's Guardian not going to be up just yet. He's about, what's that, about 1400 gold away from being able to pick it up. So maybe they might just turtle until they can get that onto the Spectre. But Fatal Bonds, only really, they're going to be able to get the disposal onto the Weaver. The Weaver, can they get the kill onto this? It's going to be the boat flying through once again. So they do take down the Weaver. Weaver is going to fall. Teehee, not going to be laughing at that. But now WS, the arena comes out. The Reaper set's going to be used now as well. Trying to keep him alive. He doesn't have a buyback. There isn't going to be anything that he can do about that now as well. Can they chase onto Ken though? Ken might be taking a little bit more damage than he wants to. He goes into the meld. And those illusions on top of Ken, but Ken's going to be fine. The Lotus Orb gets dropped as well. And with that tier 3 tower being down slowly but surely here, Made in Philippines, they just want to go onto the first set of racks. They're going to be able to get the toss back once again onto Mango Rose. Mango with the speed, not going to hit him, so he's going to be able to get himself away from this. Ken might go down the once. Can they do it twice though? The Sage is still there for him. It's going to be the Ghost Shroud coming through from the Necrophos. Necrophos, he's playing Dolman here to the rest of Made in Philippines. He's saying, you want to get to them, you have to get past me first. And nobody from the side of Atlantis really can.
Yeah, without the Panda split, they can't deal with the Necro. Atlantis got a bit ahead of themselves. They should have been happy just delaying this Aegis.
And look at this, Ponyo, the trap comes out. JG is going to be able to slow him down even through that Glimmer Cape. They're going to be able to do a little bit of damage to the Templar Assassin, but it's going to be Mars right in front of the TA once again. That Aegis will pop. It looks like the buyback comes through from Ponyo. Ponyo, how far from that? He's already used, and he doesn't have the refresh, so he's not going to be able to drop the rock. And it looks like Ken, yeah, they're going to move themselves down, maybe take themselves a second set of racks here as Ken. Super confident with the BKB still being there, even without the Aegis, that they can just move out uncontested into this second lane. Ayad's going to come through, the spear back though into everybody. They're going to be able to get the stun. Can they do the damage though with these Fatal Bonds coming through? The bullwhip to slow down onto the Kunkka. The Kunkka though just needs to be careful about getting caught out. Again, Fatal Bonds.
And he's coming.
What are they going to be able to do? Is that split up? It is going to be there now as well. Ken with the BKB. So just backing themselves away. There is going to be the reposition into the disposal onto Mars. Mars is going to be able to get himself away from this one. He pops up BKB, the physical damage. The right click coming through from the Spectre. Is he going to be able to take down JG? JG doesn't have the mana for the TP. So he's going to be in the trees trying to juke, trying to break some ankles. But all that's going to be broken is his spirit as he does get taken down. 5 times killing spree going the way of Mango Rose there as well.
As well as the gem. So that's a nice kill overall, but I have to say, MIPH, they managed to get down the Raxes just a second before the Panda DP's in.
Be able to catch out Rubido here. There is going to be the Lotus Orb coming through, just to interrupt you, sorry, the hurry, as we get the Cyclone coming out, so Necrophos going to get himself away from this one. There is going to be the Boulder Toss coming through now as well, into the reposition. Ayad is going to be able to get off. There's going to be another Cyclone there, but this just buys time. No, the pause!
I'm never gonna forgive you for this drop, because I really wanted to finish off my rant, and then you're just casting the game here. I don't know what the hell you're doing, but carry on.
Yeah, so they are going to be able to make moves into this with the Torrent coming through onto the Kunk, the reposition comes through onto the Necrophos, the toss up into the air though. Rubido is going to be able to survive through this. The Haunt does come through. Master's going to get pretty down low. With that, Yule Scepter coming through, so Yule Spy is going to be able to get himself away from this one. Rubido looks like he will be the victim. The buyback comes through from the Mars. He might be able to catch out onto Teehee. Teehee's going to go down there, and it's going to be 2 heroes. The buyback from the Marzo. Can they do anything with this? The arena is up, but with all 5 heroes on the side of Atlantis being alive, it looks like they want to put some aggression on. WS going to be coming in with the Storm Panda. Cyclone onto the Tiny, pull him up onto the Torrent now as well. Tiny can get himself out of this, not with the rebound coming through. There will be an arena from JG. The buyback comes through from the Tiny once again, and they're going to try and fight into this. The Marcy has gone down, and Ken, he says, this is my time to shine. Or maybe not, as he does get disarmed. And WS going to be able to get his TP out on the cliff. Wonder Boy. Can he get the retreat out though? It looks like he's going to be speared out to the trees, and he's not got that BKB. He will be taken down. Mango Rose going to be silenced, tossed up into the air. The right clicks coming through from the TA. They claim that kill. And all of a sudden, the fight turns right back in favor of the side of Made in Philippines.
Still, it was a good one from Atlantis. You know, that was a buyback from the Mars. If the Mars had died again, and also the TA didn't have a BKB at the start of the fight, I think they got a little bit overly greedy at a second, but in games like this, you feel like you have to do that. From our position, you can say, okay, that was the ideal situation to turn back, but you don't have all of the info if you're on the side of the Atlantis. So a pretty solid chase coming out from them. All that Mars kill, after that happened, MIPH should have just been patient. They didn't, but in the grand scheme of things, it seems that it's not gonna change too much. Without the Spectre, Atlantis just don't have the AoE damage necessary to win the fights.
And, oh, it looks like they're going to be able to get in. The Avalanche comes through here. There's a fight. Do they want to try and go on to this? The Spectre is still down, so the Scepter coming through from the Tiny. Just to make sure he can't get... Well, the Dispose was on cooldown, and it looks like they just want to go into this. Ken with the attack range coming through onto this tier 3 tower. Swarm will be dropped. Wonderboy, do they want to try and chase onto Teehee? He's going to be stunned up, locked down. Do they have enough to kill him off, though? Looks like he's still going to be able to get himself away with his Gucci, and JG jumps in, has that arena up, but it's only going to be the Brewmaster with the split. So, well, the Dispose comes through. You get the arena off, though, and it looks like Necroforce is still going to be fine, and the right click's coming through from Ken as well. Teehee. Yeah, there's going to be the split.
MIPH need to back.
Do you think? I mean, the catch, they're going to be able to go into this now as well. Waterboy, excuse me, Wonderboy, wrong film there. As he walks himself up, the rock gets dropped on top. Can he get the damage onto Ken? Templar Assassin going to try for the TP, anything to disrupt this damage. It might be enough. Don't take him down, though. Gets that TP out barely last second, sitting on a couple of hundred health. And meanwhile, this is going on. WS needs to TP himself up to the top lane just to try and defend this. Stop these creeps from pushing in.
Unnecessary aggression coming out from MIPH. You see that the Spectre is coming over. The enemies are gonna go in. You can just wait for mistakes like this, and they are bound to happen. Oh, he missed the Reaper sight.
Did he? He didn't. What? Okay, so it looks like they might be able to survive here on Wonderboy. Can he walk himself away from this? The Rubido's going to try and go for the body blocks. They're going to try and go into the Marzo. Might be a trade. Wonderboy can get himself out. He's still going to take down Ken. Will get the kill onto Wonderboy. And now the damage to the Cyberblade is just bouncing around, and Ken gets himself the double. They do have the buyback here onto the Spectre. The Spectre's going to come right back into this, but Ken, he's just running over everybody. WS is going to try and get himself away. Just hide himself in the trees. Survive for long enough. 18 seconds till that split comes back up, and Ken, they want to push in. They want to get aggressive while there's two heroes down. And they get the kill onto WS on the back lines there as well. Finding that vision, Mango Rose, he bought back into this. This is last chance saloon here for the side of Atlantis to defend in this game, and it looks like it's going to be Megas that Made in Philippines want to push it in, maybe end this game right here, right now.
WS, he is a hide-and-seek genius, but he had to get out of his hiding spot there for a second, and now Lucify, he's out for blood.
Yeah, Warlock, the Swarm comes out, even through the Glimmer Cave. Rubido is going to be there and finds a kill onto Ponyo, dead for 75 seconds, with only 2 heroes left to defend this, all 5 of them out of Made in Philippines. This is it. I think this is, you can get those G's warmed up, as it looks like they're going to be able to get the Brewmaster out now as well. Just toss him around. He's going to try and go for the split, but do they want to try and make this base theirs? The arena does come through. They might be able to chase down. The Dispose comes through onto the Mars as well inside this arena, so Ayad trying to do what he can with the Unleash, but the Spear's going to be there onto the Mars. The Mars is not going to be able to get himself out of this. The damage is going to be way too much. He'll have to back himself away. Yeah, and it looks like Mango Rose, they don't want to give up just yet. They've got the Spirit Vessel onto Mango Rose, so Mango Rose has to go back into the fountain now. I think they'll be able to catch anything out of this. Ken just going to be cycloned up into the air. But again, 3 heroes trying to make the defense up against 5, and Ken with the right-click damage. He needs nothing else to take down the space, to take down the heroes as well. The damage coming through, Ayad's going to be cleaned up as well. That's going to be the death of the Brewmaster. Mango Rose, 1 versus 5. Somehow, I don't think the man fight is going to pay off this time. The GG is going to be called, and Made in Philippines take game number 1.
I don't know how you got to that conclusion that it wasn't gonna pay off, Rob. Really, that was a close engagement. But I have to say, Atlantis, you know, they after I hugged them up, they're gonna fight till death. They go back to the base. Luckily for me, they did go back in again, so they just wanted to lick their wounds for a second or two and come back into the fight yet again. As I said, after the draft, I think MIPH really did outdraft their opponents in this one. Not the biggest fan of the Warlock Spectre, even though it is a classic. There is a reason that this classic isn't used too often by tier 1 teams, just because it doesn't work. It has been figured out. People know how to play around it, and there's these offlaners that just crush you. So it was an outdraft. I have to say, Made in Philippines made it interesting. And now I'm hoping that you saw a big difference between the Eastern European region and the Southeast Asia region. If this was Eastern Europe, we would see maybe max 20 kills for the entirety of this game when you look at the heroes. But here we We have more than 60, so it's really a treat watching these teams. As I said, Made in Philippines, a bit too greedy at times, going a little bit too aggressive. But I guess you kind of get pulled in by the fun of killing your opponent. So they did give a few of the chances there for Atlantis to win fights, but not really win the game.
Yeah, and you can see that as well. Like you say, there was just a little bit of. Can we call it an out? Is it an outdraft?
Yeah, it's a definite outdraft. It's from what you and me have casted in this season, I think this is the most obvious one. You don't have a better laning stage. You don't have the better early mid game. You don't have the better mid game, and the late game, your late game potential is countered by the necro. I just don't see a chance for you to win the game unless the opponents mess up so many times, and then you use this great team fight of yours to win. That's the only way.
Well, that is going to be it, guys. We're going to be taking a quick break for about 15 minutes. We'll get ourselves back into game number 2 shortly. But for now, we are going to be taking a quick break. So get yourself something to eat, get yourself something to drink, get yourself back for game number 2 of Atlantis versus Made in Philippines. We'll see you after the break.